Howdy, and welcome back. It's been about a year to record reviews. I know it's been a bit. I decided that I wanted to come back and make a couple record reviews before I go back to school again. I had the urge. I felt like, you know what? It's been a long time, but I feel like I want to do at least this record review, maybe a few more, maybe one or two more, but I don't make any promises. This one is for certain. So, yeah. Also, I did want to say that I am sorry. The record that we're going to be reviewing today is not the one that I promised from the previous episode. I don't know if you guys remember that. It's been a long time, but I was kind of hyping up the next record and how it was going to be a very important one. And it was. However, I did try to record that video, but I kind of got sick in the middle of it, and I felt like I just ramble on a ton in that one, like a lot in that one. And I was sick, so I didn't like the footage very much, and then I didn't have enough time to reshoot it before went to school, got busy, wasn't able to do it. So that's what I'm doing today. Is we're not going to do that record because that one is still near and dear to my heart and a very important record to me, so I want that episode to be important. Instead, we're going to be doing a bit of a lighter episode. We're going to be doing an album with a lot less songs, but I'm getting ahead of myself. So what I'm going to actually do is I'm going to head over and I'm going to grab that. Alright, so the first record that I'm going to be reviewing on my fun little return is Wifey's Just a Tease. I'd be kind of surprised if any of you have heard of Wifey. It's not exactly a band that has a ton of following, but they released this. This isn't really an album per se. This is actually an EP. They are releasing an album which will be coming out in September. But yeah, this album this EP it only has 5 songs. So I figured this would be an easy way to kind of ease back into record reviewing. I didn't want to spin the wheel because I might have bought some more records. I think last time on the wheel, the last number was about 108 was the number record. We're now at about 170 or so. I don't know. I don't know. I might have bought some records. Who knows? I might just have too much of a habit of doing that. But in any case, we're going to be listening to Wifey. I'll give you kind of the history of the band a little bit after I get done listening to it. But yeah, I'm glad that I'm back to doing this. And I'm going to go put this in right now. See you after that. All right. Well, I just got back from listening to this album, and well, EP. It is just a tease. Puns. But no, this is such an incredible showing of the music that Wifey has, and it makes me so excited for what their upcoming album is going to be like. I am just such a huge fan of this group. Specifically, they have a little paper pamphlet here. So there's Teddy Gray and Carly Kerr. Teddy Gray is an artist that I had already listened to previously, and Wifey is his new project that he started with Carly Kerr. They're kind of the lead vocalists in the album itself and in the band. And then they have Mikey Blur and Harley Cox. They're kind of, one of them is lead guitar and Harley Cox is drums. And they just come together to create such an incredible sound. I'd been a fan of Teddy Gray for a while. I'd actually been introduced to him in a very unique way. He made a musical, but not like a big production stage musical. He made like a YouTube movie musical. It was known as Garfield the Musical, which no, I did not misspeak and say Garfield incorrectly. It was called Garfield, and it's really funny in the musical. I love that musical, even though I've made my friends watch it and they just have varying reactions to it, mainly because I'm such a fan. But it's just incredible music within that musical that caused me to then continue to look for what Teddy Gray has released. After that, I believe it was after that, he made an album called Rock and Roll McDonald's, and he released a couple other albums. Then he released one which was about the great failed romances of the 20th century. Another incredible album. But now he's joined together with Carly Kerr, which Carly Kerr was actually also in that Garfield musical. She played Dr. Liz, and Teddy Gray played the titular Garfield or Garfield. But in any case, kind of that builds you a bit of background as to how I even know what Wifey is. I was really surprised and super excited when I saw that they had a vinyl, because I listened to some of the tracks that they had released from this Just a Tease album. In fact, two of the songs, the first two songs of this, DiMaggio and Marianne Leaves the Band, both of those songs they released as singles before they released the EP, and I just enjoyed it thoroughly. So then once I got the EP, I was able to get it on vinyl, and it looks all cool and stuff. And I was able to listen to it, and I love it. Alright, now let's actually get into the album itself instead of me just gawking over the fact that I like it, but not actually talking about it. So, there are only 5 songs on this album, so I'm gonna just kind of run by them, or run through them, talking about each one individually. And then afterwards, I'm just gonna rank them. They're all on one side, so I can't do like, which side do I prefer, because it's double-sided and it plays the same thing on both sides. So kind of would defeat the purpose to be like, my favorite side is the first side, which plays all the exact same songs. You get it. In any case, so we're starting off, the first song is DiMaggio, and that one is just, it is so incredible. This one is more, I'm going to be looking at the lyric sheet, which is all fun and stuff, and it has all the lyrics. But this one, from what I can tell, it's more about like somebody who's immensely, or somebody who enjoys like sporting events and like enjoys sports, and they aren't necessarily the best player, but they want to go out on the field. They don't have all of the skills, but they have the energy and the excitement to be out there. You kind of get this with the chorus, which reads, I gotta find it, gunning for the ice, cause I just can't wait, I don't even have hockey skates, running for the field like I'm armor clad, I don't even have shoulder pads, no glove, no bat, no ball to throw, but I still feel like Joltin' Joe. DiMaggio. And I love that. I love the song is just so like energy filled. It's one of those songs that I was thinking about it, and it's just like a really good like pump up song, honestly. As somebody who plays sports, mainly tennis, obviously that's not a sport that you necessarily get as pumped up for, other than like football, where I'm gonna go run into somebody. Even still, I was thinking about it and I was like, wow, this would be like a really nice song to listen to just like get me energized. So I love the song DiMaggio. I think it's a great way to open the EP and really show you what Wifey is all about. Then we move on to the next song, which, if I remember correctly, it is Marianne Leaves the Band, the other single that Wifey released before releasing this EP. Marianne Leaves the Band is about a girl who was in band class, and then she leaves the band class to hang out with a guy who becomes her, or who is like her boyfriend. It's Wifey kind of has that tendency to talk about like, I don't know how to necessarily phrase it, but it's like it's a lot of songs about love, and not like necessarily like love in the more cutesy way, but love in the more like grounded way. Like in this case, Marianne, talking about how Marianne leaves the band, with the chorus pretty much just being like Marianne finds herself a man and the band starts falling apart, and it repeats that a couple times when Marianne leaves the band. So that's kind of what this song's about. I think it's a cute, fun one. It's got a lot of fun stuff, like some of the lyrics are just fun. The kids in Woodwind are all licking their wounds. I sit alone with my saxophone, but Mr. S won't let me play the blues. The music school don't feel as cool. The other girls are relieved, but since you quit, we play like shit. I'm jumping ship for the chess team. It's just fun. And then it has within this song, like, it's rock and really, or it's kind of pop rock-ish. I love it. And I'm not necessarily a big pop fan, but I love it. But there is this little breakdown bit that I love so much. It it goes, "Oh Marianne, I beg of thee, I'm pining for you as we plod through Yankee Doodle Dandy. This Becky girl can't play your parts as skillfully as you. Her breath control is spotty, and I heard that she eats glue. Sure, Johnny's got a car and his sleeve tattoos are cool, but don't you think it's kind of weird he hangs around a high school? He's 32 years old and he still lives with his mom. I'm pretty sure it's illegal for him to come to the prom." It's just a fun song. And I think that the lyrics are fun. It's this really interesting, like, obviously, like, high school life, but it's this high schooler girl trying to kind of prove that she's old and, like, she's mature, so she's dating this 30-something-year-old guy, which is obviously super weird. And the song kind of pokes that a lot. That's kind of what the song's about. In any case, that's Marianne Leaves the Band. Now we can go on to the other three that were released with the EP and completely new songs that they released on this EP. Starting with the song Playing Dead. Playing Dead is a fun song. It's got this, like, oh yeah, I forgot to mention, in these first three songs, Teddy Gray has been doing lead vocals for all of them, with Carly Kerr doing some of the backing vocals. So with Playing Dead, this one's a lot of Teddy Gray, and it's got this nice, like, rocking, not necessarily like rock sound, but like this nice, like, back and forth that I feel throughout Playing Dead. Just a really nice rhythm to it that really allowed me to become a big fan of the song. Yeah, I don't know. It's hard to invent ways to say that I like this album, but I like this album, and I like these songs, and I'm kind of running out of words to say for describing these. But Playing Dead is a great song. It's another great addition to Wifey's catalog. But now I'm going to move over to Candy Sauce, which is the fourth song on the EP. I'm gonna say album and EP. I'm using them interchangeably. It is an EP, but sometimes my brain just words. Candy Sauce, this is the one song on the album where Carly Kerr takes over for lead vocals. And this one is an interesting song. I think it's great. It is quite sexually charged. It is an interesting song. It just has a lot of interesting words. It's about, the singer, who is a girl, talking about how she's hanging out with somebody and them giving her their candy sauce, which I don't know what that means, but I have a guess what that implies. In any case, it's a good song, and I think that it really highlights Carly Kerr's amazing vocals, especially during the chorus. Just belting, just incredible, just powerful. And then we get to the final song of the album, which is Ocean Imagery. I think this one's fun. It's kind of a little meta in the way that it's written. It's about writing a song about ocean imagery. I'll kind of read the first bit of the, like, verses to kind of get the idea of it. The song goes, the first song every kid tries to write is about a crush left unrequited. It's littered with ocean imagery, and it's terrible. He makes a little demo, plays it back nightly, shows it to his friends who smile politely and try not to let it slip that the song's unbearable. The kid regrets he ever shared, and most careers will end right there, but some stick to it and find their voice, get better. And just when I thought I'd found mine to leave the teenage shit behind, a tidal wave comes crashing down and knocks me back to my hometown. And then this is where the chorus is. 'Cause you make me feel like I've turned 14 again, tripping over my words every time I hold a pen. Now I'm fishing for a tune, getting fucked up in my room, and writing songs with ocean imagery. And I love that. I find that song just so fun. Just the idea of somebody trying to prove that they're more sophisticated with their words, that they aren't simple, that they don't make garbage music, because I'm using more than just ocean imagery and just using like in the song it goes so much for clever metaphors. But then it has the line where it is and use the phrase washed out to sea because it rhymes with you and me. It's trying to prove that I'm not doing that. That's lazy, and why would I ever do that? But then they come across a lady, and that lady makes them feel that way, so much so that they ignore the fact that using ocean imagery is cheesy or dull or whatever you might think about it. And they decide to fully commit to it and write this song. And I just love it. But yeah, that is all 5 songs from Wifey's Just a Tease. So now let's get on to ranking them. All right, now when we look at ranking the songs, there's only 5 songs, so obviously we're just gonna rank all 5 from worst to best. So there has to be a worst, which is very unfortunate because I think all of these songs are great. But there has to be one that I, in fact, do like the least. So for that, that will go to, and you might be able to tell because I talked about it kind of the least, that will be going to the 3rd song of the album, Playing Dead. And even though Playing Dead is my least favorite, I still like it. It's still a song that I think is really good. I think the only reason that I didn't latch onto it as much was probably because I couldn't really hear the lyrics as well. I couldn't make out what he was saying as well as I could in the other songs. And for me, I think that just created a little bit of a disconnect. I still think it sounds great. I really love the instrumentals and the kind of rocking back and forth. It's like na 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 na. I love that, how that sounds. I think it was great. But even with that, it still ends up being my least favorite, which kind of shows you just how many good songs there are in this album. Now, when we get to the next one, what I will be putting as my as 4th best on this album, I will have to go with Candy Sauce. I do really, really enjoy Candy Sauce. I think that it's great. I just think that I don't know. I don't really think that there's anything that causes it to be bad per se. I just think that I prefer the other ones more. I think I like how they sound more. With that all being said, I think that Carly Kerr's vocals are incredible on this song. So even with that, I think that I just prefer these other ones. So yeah, Candy Sauce will be my number 4 favorite. Then after that, the third, what I think is my 3rd favorite song on this album, actually goes to Marianne Leaves the Band. Even though it was one of the singles released, and even though I think I had more time with the song, I still prefer these other 2 over it. I think Marianne Leaves the Band is a fun one. My favorite part of the song is the little breakdown bit, where it's like, oh Marianne, I beg of thee. I think that's so fun. And then it leads right into the chorus, and such a fun time. Such a fun song. But that means that the bronze medal goes to Marianne Leaves the Band. But what gets silver? Will it be DiMaggio? Will it be Ocean Imagery? And this one is a tough one. I ultimately, in my heart of hearts, I'm going to give it to DiMaggio. Now, here's the thing. Yes, I think that I've listened to DiMaggio the most out of all of the Wifey songs. I think that I've listened to DiMaggio the most, and I think that it's a really, it hypes you up. It's a really good song to just kind of hype you up, and it's so fun. It brings such power that you just feel energized while you're listening to it. Like, yeah, I'm gonna be the next DiMaggio. I'm gonna go out there and I'm gonna kill it. I'm going to be incredible, and I love feeling that energy. I think it's great. But ultimately, even though I think that sounds great, I have way too much fun listening to Ocean Imagery. I feel like it. I don't even know if it necessarily resonates with me as much because I don't think that I'm super I don't write music, but I just can picture the idea of like thinking of like teenage things that you would do that you would find embarrassing, but then finding something so pure, like, you know, well, in this case, it's a girl, but finding something that just brings you back to that, like, teenage, not necessarily innocence, but brings you all the way back there. I just find that super powerful. And that causes me to decide that Ocean Imagery is the gold medal best song of the album. So yeah, that's all the songs ranked in my humble opinion. All right, well, that was Wifey's Just a Tease. Incredible EP. Super excited. I would recommend, if you've gotten to it this far in this album, or in this review, I would recommend that you go and listen to the new song that they just released. It's called, I believe it's 100 More Cheyennes. That one's fun too. Another fun song by Wifey. But yeah, I really think this band does not have the recognition that I believe they ought to. Wifey, I think on Spotify, it's like a couple hundred listeners monthly. For the quality of these songs, I really think they should get more recognition because I think these songs are all incredible and just really fun. So yeah, if you couldn't tell, I'm a bit of a fan of Carly Kerr and definitely a big fan of Teddy Gray, considering big fan of Garfield the Musical, big fan of some of his albums, and now a big fan of his newest project being Wifey. But yeah, I would definitely recommend giving this a listen whenever you have a chance. It's such a good EP, and it's only 5 songs. It's not like you're committing yourself to an entire album. But yeah. In any case, thank you for watching. Yeah, I'm really happy to be back. I had a fun time reviewing this little EP right here, and I enjoyed it. I enjoyed talking about it, and I love this band so much, and I want them to get more attention and be recognized more. Regarding the next review, I think I'm probably just going to pick the album for that one. I'm not going to try and set up a wheel because, in all honesty, I'm quite lazy. And if I try and set up that wheel, it's going to take me a while because that's going to be about 170 albums, and then I have to remove the ones that I already reviewed. So yeah, the next review, if there is a next review, no promises, but fingers crossed, might happen, could happen, might happen. I'll just pick what I'm going to review. Not sure what it'll be, but you'll find out. But yeah, thank you for watching. I really hope you give this album a listen. And I'll see you guys later for the next record review. Bye.
Oh, Marianne, I beg of thee, I'm pining for you as you plod through Yankee Doodle Dandy. This Becky girl can't play her parts as skillfully as you. Her breath control is spotty, and I heard that she needs glue. Sure, Johnny's got a car, and his sleeve tattoos are cool, but don't you think it's kinda weird he hangs around the high school? He's 32 years old, and he still lives with his mom. Pretty sure it's illegal for